Amen, amen, amen. And hey, we're live. Hate to have a transition out of that, but hey, what a beautiful message you're giving there, McGuire. So thank you for that. And of course, you're all lifted up. There's a lot of people struggling. Like McGuire said to me yesterday, we're walking by people and we don't know what struggles people have. There's all kinds of struggles people are walking with. And, he's at the grocery store picking up some stuff, trying to make a real nice meal for his doggy. And, the person doesn't know what he's going through and what he's trying to accomplish. And we don't know who's driving next to us. And so as we're getting out there, think about that too. A business owner learns to put on a posture, and the posture is the customer's always right. And I'm happy even when I'm not making money. And I'm going to show up and I'm going to keep my store clean even when I'm not making money. 6 out of 10 are breaking even or losing money, team. 6 out of 10 businesses in your town are breaking even or losing money. They're not earning a living. They're just staying because they've got a long lease. They can't get out of the lease and they want to make their business work, but it's not working yet. So you can help them. We can give them funding. Their bank can't unless they have collateral to put up. But if they're breaking even or losing money, they can't get a bank loan. So even if they have collateral, they can't get a loan because their business isn't strong enough yet. You become, other than friends and family, personal money, basically private money, you become the only option. And so, folks, let's not take that lightly that every day, I talked to someone today. They have it's a new banking relationship. He said 3 clients today they had to turn away. 3 just today they had to turn away that they couldn't help. 3 just today. Those are business owners who were hopeful they could get approved. And the reality is, we know that unfortunately only about 10% of the business owners in America right now can get approved for a business funding. And we've got to answer. So let's not forget that. Don't sit lightly on it. You're the first line of capitalism. You're the front line of capitalism to those capitalists who launched the business. Keep in mind, they all left their cushy jobs or their guaranteed income to start a business where they have to spend money, take risk, and be guaranteed no income. They're brave already. They're already go-getters. They're already willing to take risks the average person won't take. So get them some funding so they can take more risk and grow their business. Help fuel them to the next level. So today's story, I got a great story, happens to involve your client, Dexter. And then I'm going to go into our huddle message of today. Authentically you, question mark. It's could be costing your business. So let me talk about what that means in a minute. But first, let's go to the story. Exotic car rental out of Nevada. Our own Dexter McLean is the broker. The client was originally funded in a very high risk category, not a high risk client, but a high risk category. November of 25. How long ago was that? 3 months. And we told them then we can only get you $40,000. However, our team explained to them that after you get that funding, we have something called staged funding. We can get you more in the near term, but we got to establish a relationship with you, get some things happening. We'll get you some better terms. Well, they just got funded today, 75 grand. So instead of 40, 75,000 on longer terms at better pricing than the initial funding. So Wade, in fact, spoke to the client himself today, let him know that he was funded and that he would look again in 90 more days, stage funding, to even get a larger funding then potentially. So the file was submitted just yesterday afternoon. The client accepted the funding offer at 5 p.m. The client completed their bank verification at 6:23 p.m. last night, and they were funded at 10:09 this morning. That's the beautiful thing. When things hum right, they sound beautiful. Not always does it hum right. I've got a client right now that Wade and I spent about 2 hours on the phone with yesterday because they need to provide proof of ownership and they don't have their taxes filed since 2021 and they don't have proof of ownership. They're an LLC, which doesn't show the individual owners. So now that means there's got to go find a EIN document or operating agreement, something that shows that so they know we need to know how much you own of this. There's no records anywhere. And that took a couple hours, but guess what? We were able to get the letters in last night and signed everything last night. And so he'll be getting funded today. But in a case like that, it didn't hum real well. It took a lot of phone calls and a lot of follow-ups and a lot of, well, how about this? And what about this? And can we get on the phone with your accountant? And can we do this? And there's a lot of searching going on that Wade and his team do. So thank you, Wade, for everything you do. For the ones that hum through nice and the ones that vibrate and shake everything off the table, it doesn't bat your eye at all. You move forward and make it happen. So thank you. Today's huddle subject, authentically yourself Question mark. It could be costing your business. And I just want to share with you. I want you to imagine right now, what is a salesperson? Think of a salesperson you can think of. Who are you thinking of with the salesperson right now? Okay. About 80% of the people, when you ask that question, they think of negative connotations, saying what they want to hear, saying your name over and over, repeating your question after you, mirroring your thing, all the things that Tommy Hopkins teaches and Zig Ziglar teaches and all. There's some good stuff in those teachings. Don't take it wrong. But so many people aren't authentically themselves. They just do all that plastic stuff and everyone can sniff it out. And over 80% of the people in survey had a bad image of a salesperson. But then you say, think of the person you think is the best salesperson you know. So who's the best salesperson you can think of? Whether they're selling ideas, products, doesn't matter. Who's the best person? And 97% of the time, it's someone you respect. Wait a minute. They just said when you think of a salesperson, you think over 80% of the people think something negative. But then when you think of who's the best salesperson you know, it's someone you respect. How can it be how can the industry be something you look down on negatively about, but yet the people who are the best at it, you respect them because they're different. They're different than the industry. They're different than the teaching. They're different than all the steps of sales. They're different than a script. They're different than a posture. They're different than a fake smile. They're different than a open with this script, followed by this script, followed by this script. There's tools and trainings to teach you, but the reality is until you become authentically yourself, until you're behaving the way you would otherwise behave. This is me, whether it's Valentine's Day or whether it's Thanksgiving Day or whether it's Saturday morning and I'm petting my dog. You're seeing David Rutz. I don't have a posture for Zoom and a posture for life. I don't have a posture for church and a posture for the client. I have one posture, and that is this. And I love talking to business owners. I don't do it all day long every day, but when I do, it doesn't wear me out. It's not a process of pain because I'm not putting on a uniform called be a sales guy now. Okay, let's go do DAC now. Let's make sure we're in DAC mode. Come on now. If you're doing that, you're not being authentically yourself. You're pretending to be something you're not, and they can sniff it out. You can say the same words as Matt DeHame, and they won't sign up. You can say the same words as me, and they won't fill out an application because we want authentic relationship. This is a relational, not transactional business. Relational, not transactional. If you're not being your authentic self, stop today, whatever you're doing, and say, how can I be more like me? So the prompting question is, how am I behaving daily in my business that's different than I would behave having a beer with my buddies, having a conversation with my neighbor who owns a business tomorrow? Because whatever's different, you need to destroy it. You need to get rid of all of that. Be yourself. It's okay to go, dude, I don't know the answer. That's a great question. I don't know. Let me call and find out. I'll get back with you. That's better than making crap up, right? So as we end this huddle, that prompt question is ask yourself, how are you behaving that is different than your authentic self? And then commit to stop doing it permanently. Permanently. Serve from your heart. If you don't care about business owners, find a different career because you won't be good at this. If you care about them and care about educating them and it's okay to send them to a different funding, then you're in the right place. But if you think, no, I got to get them funded here, you're in the wrong career. You're authentically a taker. That doesn't work in sales. Be a giver, givers gain, be yourself, you win. Ready? Break.